If you're in Seattle, and you need to buy or sell a home, we'll be right there for you. Because we're the realtors that you can trust. So go to ronanddonsitdown.com.
You're listening to The Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Hey, you guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of The Ron and Don Show, and we are back live in the Les Schwab studio.
What is up, Ron and Don Nation?
Hey, coming up with the Ron and Don Show, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate only, but we do have to stop the show here for just a moment. Stop the show. What the hell is going on? I have these notes right here that says, please give a shout out to Troop 80. And the problem is, if I give a shout out to Troop 80, then what about Troop 79 or Troop 61 or Troop 121? Who put this on my notes? It says very clearly, Friday's show, Ron and Don, real estate only. And then it looks like, is that Matt off the mic's writing? Please give a shout out to Troop 80, that using our show once again as his personal playground.
It is. I believe, Matt, are you a current Eagle Scout?
Once a scout, always a scout. Ron.
And you are in charge of Troop 80?
Not an Eagle Scout.
Oh, you're not an Eagle Scout.
Never made it quite that far.
But you're in charge of Troop 80? On the board of directors of Troop 80? What are you?
I'm an assistant scoutmaster.
Assistant Scoutmaster. And
There are many.
Matt said they went to Magnolia, Troop 80.
Okay.
How many?
Summerfest, Magnolia Summerfest.
How many scouts we got in Troop 80?
40.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's a big troop.
That means 25 show up
And
every
you have
week
Eagle
or something.
Scouts in your troop as well, correct?
We have more Eagle Scouts in Troop 80 than most troops do.
And so you
We're
guys...
also the-
That's because most dads that didn't become Eagle Scouts,
just-
then they're over, they're living vicariously through their children, and they don't want them to work or anything because they want them to have better lives than they did. So these kids have nothing to do but become Eagle Scouts, I think, right?
As far as the fathers are concerned. Sure.
Yeah.
You guys needed to raise some money for the troop, or you wanted to raise some money for the
And
troop.
most of the guys in Troop 80 are like 28, 29 years old
Exactly.
now because they've been in it so long trying to become Eagle Scouts, right?
So,
how old is the average age of a young scout in Troop 80?
It goes from age 11 to 18.
Okay.
And then once you're 18, you can't be a scout anymore.
Did you have a successful Magnolia Summerfest Troop 80?
For the first time ever, we did a food booth at Magnolia Summerfest. The scouts and the adults worked together for 3 days, flipping burgers, and we made $9,000.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's a double pat. What was a double patty? Like a cheeseburger?
No, it's not a double patty. You got the.
It's always double patty.
No, you got the Eagle Burger.
Eagle Burger?
No, you didn't have a double patty burger?
So I ordered a double patty burger.
Of course you did.
But I was the only one that ever got a double
Oh my
patty.
God.
What's on the Eagle Burger?
Yeah, and what's it cost?
Eagle Burger is $10.
Okay.
Next year it'll be $11, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It comes with lettuce and tomato
Cheese?
on it. And cheese, yeah.
Is this a smash burger?
No, it's just a burger.
The Eagle Burger. And then-
$10 for a non-smash burger?
And Magnolia?
my
That's
At a
that's-
summer, it's at a festival, so everything is. You can't get a taco for under $20.
Wow.
And then what's below the Eagle Burger?
The Scout Burger.
The Scout Burger.
Which is for your little kid. That's just a plain bun and a burger. No cheese.
There's really no burger in there.
But you could add
It's a
bacon,
bun.
and you can add grilled onions for us.
What were some of the side items that you could get? You could get some potato chips, some Toms, I bet, a bag of potato chips, right?
Just the 1 ounce.
Where you get everything from Costco?
Yeah, or similar, sure. Yeah.
Did you put mayonnaise on these burgers?
There's no mayonnaise. We
Good.
decided not to leave the mayonnaise.
Relish?
In the sun. You can put your own relish.
Did you
mustard.
have relish?
Yeah, oh yeah.
See, I support Troop 80 and the relish. A lot of
Relish
these
on a
troops
burger.
out there don't provide the relish, and they put mayonnaise on them, and you're right, and it sits out there in the sun. And I don't know if you're getting a mayonnaise patch or something when you put the mayonnaise on the burger. What did the kids earn for doing this? What kind of patch will they get?
They don't get a patch, but they don't have to sell car wash tickets. Which they hate doing.
I think they should have a patch that has like a burger on it.
I'll work on that.
But
Yeah.
then the if I understand scouting correctly, this money now pays for activities for the rest of the year, or part of the budget goes to the activities.
Yeah, and partly inspired by you guys, what I'd like to do is take some of this money and find a sister troop somewhere that needs a little bit of help and try to give some back to another
Wow,
troop.
you have
That's
the,
awesome.
the power to do that as assistant scoutmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
I
wear
like
a
them.
uniform when you're flipping
I
burgers?
do.
Will you send us a picture of that?
Sure.
Okay. How does it fit? And is it
You can make
your
a lot of-
uniform when you were younger,
No.
or did you get a expansive
I had
uniform
to get an expanded.
as you got
uniform.
older? Okay.
When
Hat,
you
the
have,
hat and everything?
I don't have a hat.
Okay.
Do you have a sash?
I have a sash somewhere, but I don't wear it.
Okay. Do you have a neck scarf?
We don't. Adults don't wear neck scarves.
Ties?
No.
Okay. What do you wear? Like,
does
what's
it have your
so far? It
badges?
sounds like you're naked. What is the assistant?
The tan shirt, the button-down tan short sleeve button-down shirt, and the green shorts or green pants.
Okay.
That's all you got to do.
Does it piss you off that some of the other assistant scoutmasters maybe have more patches than you do, or at some point do you drop the rivalry?
It does not bother me in the least.
It bothered me.
Don would have his whole shirt would be covered with patches.
It would,
Fake
and I would go
patches.
buy fake ones if I had to. Yeah, stolen valor. I'm not afraid to do it.
Yeah. You can make a lot of money at a food booth if you have free labor. If you have the taco truck next to us, there's 2 guys working as hard as they can.
Yeah.
We got 10 people, just no problem.
What did you do with all the leftovers, or did you not have anything left over?
We didn't have too many leftovers. We split them out between the families. You know, here you take some, I'll take some.
That's great, man. Congratulations, Troop 80.
80. Troop 79, we don't even know who you are.
So my son, real quick before we get to real estate, my son's going through driving school right now, and then we've been out in the car a little bit. Matt did offer at some point. He said, "Hey, if you don't want to drive around with your kid, I can do that. And by the way, I can teach him to drive a stick." And I thought, nah, I can do that. And then after driving around with him for a bit and almost sideswiping several cars, and then after we almost sideswiped a car yesterday on the way to the gym, he looks over at me and he's like, how do you avoid just like crashing right into the side of a car?
I don't know if
And
that's
I'm
a good sign.
I'm going to call Matt, and I'm going to call Matt in because maybe this is a job for Matt. And I don't know if it's because I never sit over on the right of my truck, and I'm just sensitive to sit. But I don't sideswipe cars, and I always ride in the middle of the line, especially when you're riding through neighborhoods around here, because they're made for wagons, not for cars. And then when somebody else, especially on Queen Anne, is coming the other way, a lot of times you have to pull all the way over to the side and
You're
stop.
starting him right on Queen Anne roads?
Damn right
That's
we
your
are.
mistake. Go find a parking lot somewhere. Get the bearings first.
Matt, what would you suggest? Because you said, and have you helped the troop before? Because you said you've helped people learn to drive cars before.
Oh, I just helped all of my kids' friends, and I'm still doing it. You know,
You
as
did?
they,
Okay.
as they come up through. Yeah.
Okay. Can you get a
Plus, the average cost of a Matt vehicle is like $9. So if they crash, he can fix it.
It's 300. This one. But yeah.
I am not joking. I was wearing white shorts yesterday, and I took them off, and I almost wore them here. And he literally made my shit my pants yesterday. He did. And I couldn't wear them here. I just shot it out, and they're soaking right now because, boy.
And now on to real estate.
Let's talk about real estate real quick. Yeah, let's talk about real estate. Ron, what is happening in the market right now? Boy, it's you shit your pants. The market's so hot, right?
It's there's some weird vibes in the market right now.
It is.
And I think
it is very, very. The market is different. We've never seen a market like this. It's very unusual.
I think that the tariffs from Liberation Day. I hope that everybody's enjoying being liberated for the past since April. These tariffs are finally trickling into everyday products. And it's weird because the stock market, by and large, had a huge reaction to Liberation Day. And then they figured out there's this thing that swept through the meme culture and called taco, which was, and I forget what it stood for. It's basically like Trump's going to back down. And I don't remember. Chickens out. Trump's going to chicken out. Trump always chickens out. Thank you, Matt. Taco. And so the market started to just ignore the day-to-day news and keep going higher and higher and higher. And
which it has.
Which it has.
Yeah.
But now there's these real tariffs that are going into place, and the big staple companies like your Procter and Gamble or whatever, when Liberation Day was coming, they stockpiled a bunch of goods anticipating these tariffs, and now they're running out of that stockpile, and they got to reorder at these much higher prices. And so my point is that I think has trickled into the psyche of people wanting to buy because it's affecting brick and mortar businesses.
Let me give you an example. I remember just a couple days ago, my son started football, so I had to go buy him a bunch of toiletries. Every single toiletry that I bought seemed to be $11, whether it was a toothbrush, whether it was underarm deodorant.
Toothpaste.
I bought similar toiletries when we were getting ready to go on our trip to Ireland a number of months ago. Some of those same toiletries were like $6.
Right.
So you're starting to see those arrive in everyday product. And you were telling me yesterday we were talking, you're like, yeah, it's because when a lot of these bigger companies saw this coming, they weren't sure if it was real or not, but they could really overstock a lot of their warehouses. And now, as you just shared, that stock supply has gone away. And these toiletries have to come from somewhere. And a lot of them are going to come from places where the tariffs are rather high.
And so I think there's a lot of Americans that are just like, you know what? If I need to buckle down status quo for 3 years and 3.5 years, maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to buckle down, not do anything.
And if I have a 2.8% interest rate going back to the pandemic, even though I'm living in a real big house and I like to downsize, I'm going to hang on to the 2.8, which is really that's why when people look at this, they're like, well, why aren't housing prices going down? And in most cases, they continue to trickle up. It's because housing is locked. And now what you have is with builders, right? So we see a lot of builders. In fact, we wrote on a deal yesterday on a lot that typically a builder would buy. And builders a lot of times have their own hard money. And hard money means they're not getting it from the bank. They're getting it from investors. But those investors want a return on that money. And so when a builder goes out and they buy a single family lot, let's say here in Seattle, and they're going to put a house on there and a ADU or
3 townhomes,
whatever, they're about a year out from breaking ground, and then they're about another year out from actually selling those doors. So they're really trying to project what's going to be happening 2 years from now in the market. And so you see some of those builders now who are well qualified, they're standing on the sidelines. And what's interesting is luxury buyers are buying luxury. So if you look at some of the luxury properties here in Seattle, or you look at some of the stuff over on the east side, especially things that I would consider over $2.5-3 million, those properties are actually doing very well because typically luxury buyers own multiple homes. When you own multiple homes, you pay a higher interest rate anyway, or you just double down and buy the house outright and spend cash to buy it, and then you'll turn around and finance it however you want to. So what we're seeing, which is really unusual, is that house that's like that $500,000 to the $1.2 million. Those are the houses that if they aren't on point right now, or if there's issues or problems, we aren't seeing the multiple offers that we were seeing. Where we still will see multiple offers is if you have a house that's dialed in, if you've done your work, if you've inspected it, you know what the sewer looks like, the house looks like. If it needed a new roof, you put the house, all that stuff right there. Those homes are still selling by offer review date. But boy, there's some lazy realtors out there that still aren't inspecting homes. And they're just throwing homes on the market like during the pandemic. We looked at a house yesterday where the front stair is just rotted out. And all you'd have to do to fix that front stair, I mean, that's the soul of the house. It'd probably take a couple $100 to maybe fix the front porch, but instead they decided not to do it. So that is a house right now, when we wrote on it the other day, that is sitting there, and we asked for some deep discounts because of all the work that this house needs.
Yeah, and I think the other interesting thing, you and I just met with a potential condo buyer, and when you look at the condo market right now, it is, you want to be a buyer. Like you can get into a building, into a unit that 3 or 4 years ago when there were just busloads of tech workers, because I live where they drop them off. You would see 3 or 4 buses every day. Everybody gets off with their college sweatshirt on. They're landing at Meta or at Apple or at Google, and they're making 6 figures right out of college. They would be buying these condos.
Here's what,
right now you're seeing condos sit on the market for 300 days.
Here's
days.
what screwed up the condo market, and I haven't heard anyone talk about this. A number of years ago, when it was the Wild West and Airbnb, you had companies going out there and buying up floors of condos, especially new condos, and they were putting those right on Airbnb. You'd have floor after floor after floor that would be a vacation rental, and they were renting the crap out of those. And what was happening is people didn't want to move in those buildings. They're taking up parking. They're not treating the building the way that I would treat it. If it has a concierge service, the concierge service is being run ragged because you have all these people coming in with all this luggage and coming and going and loud parties and all. So what happened in a lot of these buildings, especially the newer ones that have gone up now, they said, we don't want any short-term rentals. We're not going to allow any of that. And so there's an exclusivity now to some of these buildings, like at Insignia, for instance, here in downtown Seattle, where if you want to own a condo there, you have to live in the condo there, or maybe somebody within your family has to live there, but it's not necessarily something that you're going to be able to rent out. And so there's been a real shift when people look at that condo product and go, wow, if I can't rent that out when I'm gone, because that's helping me pay the debt on this particular unit, I'm going to walk away and maybe try to go find a single family home and do something
and
similar.
I'll just say this, because you and I have both been looking for buyers. If you are thinking about being a seller and your real estate agent that you are thinking about using pulls out their iPhone to start taking listing pictures, hit the stop panic button right then and call Ron and Don. I'm seeing listings where I saw a listing the other day where the listing photos, they left the cat litter box on the counter of the it's on the kitchen counter for the picture in the listing.
Wow.
And I'm like, what kind of agent doesn't even think, maybe I don't want the cat litter box on the kitchen counter?
Or at least have a picture of the cat.
But what I'm saying is, like, to
People
your
love
point,
cats.
there are some people here acting like it's 2.8 interest rates and that we're going to party like it's 1999. Like, that's not the agent you need right now. You need an agent like Don who is anal retentive about the details and comes in and is like, no, we're not selling this house if it smells like cat pee.
Yeah, and don't
we're
forget-
not selling this house if there's a hole in the floor.
And nobody ever asks us when they interview us about our negotiation skills, ever. This is a market, whether you're buying, selling, or investing. This is a negotiation market. This is not a Redfin market or a discount broker market. And if you have an agent that is a very good negotiator, what you're going to find is that agent pays for themselves and then some. If you're buying a home again that needs some work, you should be able to ask that a lot of that work is done before you even close on that house. We weren't in that market a year or 2 years ago. We're in that market now.
And you got a lot of sellers that have been in neighborhoods for a long time, and they're like, well, Fred and Ethel down the road in 2021 got $2 million. It's like, dude, if you're hanging on to that, you're going to be in for a rough landing, because it is not 2021. Interest rates are not 2.8%, and your house is not their house.
Yeah.
So you need to be a realist right now in this market, have a real look at what is going on, what the value of your house is. And it's okay to ask for the top of the range if your house is at the top.
Yeah,
of the
and
range.
also make sure you talk to your realtor and say, hey, what are some other ways outside the MLS that you're going to market my house? I went to a open house the other day with one of our buyers. The gentleman that was doing the open house, I called him. He was out on a boat somewhere. He's like, yeah, well, I don't know the agents is there. And I said, well, we're trying to see the house and the super box isn't on. And he called me back and he went, oh yeah, they're at lunch. And you just hear the music in the back. He goes, yeah, they went to lunch. I don't know when they're going to be back. And we're like underwritten, we're ready to go, and that is a house that we might have written on, but instead we went ahead and we wrote on the next house that we looked at. So there's a lot of that sloppy agent stuff going on, and it's one of the reasons why it is really important when you interview an agent, one, ask them, what are your negotiation skills? Two, how are you going to market my property outside the MLS?
And three, are you an Eagle Scout?
Yeah, are you an Eagle Scout? And then also get their philosophy on inspection, and then what do we do about the inspection? And also investing money in the home. How do we spend $1 and get $2 back, and not spend $1 and lose 50 cents, $1.50? We don't want to do that. So anyway, if you need us, we love sitting down with you guys virtually, and then we'll come out and visit you. It's never too early to sit down. And we talk to people sometimes, In fact, we were talking with Ryan the other day, who we spoke with a year ago about a property, and now we're going to bring that property to market this fall. Our sit down happened a year ago, and then we re-sat down, and then I went and visited the property. We actually do that a lot. We're working on a house on the east side right now. I think we sat down 2.5 years ago.
Might be close to 3 years.
3 years ago on that it's this magnificent property. So it's never too early to sit down and talk about your real estate journey, especially for people out there. Like we're going to sit down next week with a guy that works on some homes for me, and he makes a lot of money. But we've been chipping away and working on, hey, what are some things we can come because working on your credit score is just a game, and it's just a game that you have to play, and we know how to play the game, and sometimes you have to take a moment, stop down, play the game for 6 to 12 months, rebuild your credit score, and then you're in a position where maybe you could buy next spring.
Yeah, and so let's do a sit down, strategize. We're happy to meet with you. We got a seller's playbook, a buyer's playbook. It starts at ronandonsitdown.com, or you can email me directly, ron@ronandon.com, and we'll do it over Zoom. It's pretty painless.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, thanks for listening to this episode of the Ron and Don Show. Again, if you need us, just do what Ron just said. I want to thank Matt today for helping to produce today's show. And look at this beautiful studio Matt's been working on. Matt, thank you for that. We really appreciate that. Yeah. Also want to thank the station voice, my son, Gunnar O'Neill, and I think he's 8 or 9 in that. He's 15 going on 16 today.
He loves us using that as recording.
God. You should have seen those guys hitting the sled last night at football practice. They hadn't hit the sled in a while. That'll make a man out of you. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting.
We'll have to do a football coach show.
Well, and our coach used to stand on the sled, right? Coaches don't stand on the sleds today.
We were in a sticker patch.
They're too nice. Yeah, we were in a sticker patch. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So anyway, and shout out to Troop 80.
Troop 80, what's up?
Yeah, you owe us $4,500 for giving you a shout out.
Wow, it's a steep chart.
Yeah.
At least an Eagle Burger.
Till next time, keep your head up and your shoulders back. You've been listening to the Ron and Don Show. All right. That's the uncomfortable silence we learned in broadcast school that we never went to on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Well, that's it. Show's over. We'll see you next time on the Ron and Don Radio Network.